Welcome back to my channel. What if the hero everyone trusted was secretly the architect of absolute chaos from the very beginning? What if the tribal chief's dramatic and emotional return was nothing more than a carefully scripted performance designed to hide the most devious betrayal WWE has ever seen? Tonight, everything changes as Roman Reigns has been unmasked as the man who secretly arranged the brutal mystery attack on CM Punk, and the full truth behind this revelation is powerful enough to shake the foundations of the entire WWE universe. What fans believed for weeks to be a tragic twist of bad luck at Survivor Series WarGames is now being exposed as a cold, calculated master plan executed with terrifying precision. Subscribe right now because everything you thought you knew about that unforgettable night was only the surface of a far darker and more twisted story. For weeks, the WWE Universe has searched endlessly for real answers ever since that mysterious masked attacker stormed into WarGames and took CM Punk out in the most shocking moment of the match, costing Roman's entire team a victory that many believed was already within their grasp. Fans replayed the footage frame by frame. Analysts debated endlessly on wrestling shows, and social media erupted with theories pointing in every possible direction. Yet not a single soul was prepared for the truth that is now coming to light. Earlier tonight, a shocking leaked document, along with information from a highly trusted confidential source, revealed something that feels almost too unbelievable to accept. The man behind the mask who destroyed Punk was not a rogue attacker. He was not sent by a rival faction, and he was not acting on personal hatred. Instead, he was working directly under the command of none other than Roman Reigns himself, the very man who later stepped into the ring and played the role of the savior. This revelation forces everyone to completely re-examine everything they thought they knew about Roman's intentions, his loyalty, his leadership, and the carefully constructed image he has presented to the world for years. The truth is that Roman Reigns has never been driven solely by the desire to win matches or collect championships. For Roman, it has always been about absolute control, unchallenged power, and preserving his status as the undisputed head of the table at all costs. As CM Punk's influence began to grow and his popularity with the fans skyrocketed, Roman found himself facing a dangerous situation that threatened the very core of his empire. Punk's voice, his message, and his unmatched ability to connect with the audience created a presence that could not be ignored and could not be controlled. It was no longer just a rivalry issue. It was a power struggle that risked undermining everything Roman had built. Punk's rising momentum threatened not just Roman's authority within his faction, but his dominance over the entire WWE landscape. Roman knew he could not simply walk into the ring and attack Punk openly without risking massive backlash, damage to his own image, and the possibility of losing the loyalty and fear that kept his empire standing. He needed a method that would remove Punk as a threat while keeping his own hands appearing clean to the public. That dilemma led to a solution that was as brilliant as it was heartless. Roman did not go into WarGames planning to sacrifice everything just to win a single match. Instead, he engineered a crisis so dangerous and so chaotic that only he could appear to resolve it, while secretly controlling every move from behind the curtain. The exposure of this sinister plan came from a shocking piece of backstage footage that was leaked earlier today. The grainy video shows a dimly lit parking garage late at night with shadows stretching across the concrete under flickering overhead lights. Through the haze of the footage, Roman Reigns can be seen approaching a masked figure who is standing near a black SUV. The two exchange a short and quiet conversation that is mostly drowned out by the echoing ambience of the garage, before Roman calmly hands over a thick envelope. As the masked man turns to leave, Roman's voice clearly echoes in the recording with chilling precision as he says, "Make it look real, and when the moment comes you know exactly what to do." The footage then abruptly cuts to the WarGames match itself, where the same masked figure charges into the ring and viciously attacks CM Punk in front of thousands of stunned fans, sending shockwaves through the arena and instantly changing the course of the match. But in a detail almost everyone overlooked in the chaos of the moment, the leaked footage also reveals Roman making his dramatic return to the match in what was universally praised as a heroic attempt to save his fallen teammate. As Roman pulled Punk back to his feet amid the confusion, the camera briefly captures a subtle exchange of eye contact and a nearly invisible nod between Roman and the masked attacker. who then disappears into the crowd as if he were never there. At the time, no one questioned it because all eyes were on Punk's condition and Roman's apparent act of bravery. But now with the truth exposed, that tiny gesture carries enormous and horrifying weight. The final and most damning piece of evidence surfaced in the form of a private text message reportedly recovered by insiders who had access to confidential communications. The message traced directly to Roman's phone reads, "Punk's getting too popular, time for a lesson in who really runs this tribe." With those words, any remaining doubt about Roman's involvement collapsed completely. This shocking discovery completely redefines everything about Roman Reigns' character and his actions at Survivor Series. The tribal chief was never attempting to win war games in the traditional sense that night. He was playing a far more dangerous and long-term game, a silent war of dominance, control, manipulation, and survival at the very top of WWE. In this larger game of power, Roman willingly sacrificed the match, allowed his own team to take the loss, and even risked short-term damage to his image in order to eliminate what he viewed as the greatest long-term threat to his reign. What makes this revelation so deeply unsettling is how flawlessly Roman manipulated the perception of the entire WWE universe by returning at the perfect moment and presenting himself as the man trying to save CM Punk. Roman reinforced his image as the leader who protects his own and the warrior who always shows up when everything is on the line. Yet behind the scenes, he was the very mastermind of the chaos that nearly destroyed Punk's career. This level of calculation shows that Roman's reign has never been built purely on physical dominance or intimidation alone. It has been constructed through meticulous long-term planning, psychological warfare, and a Machiavellian approach to leadership that reveals just how dangerous his mind truly is, an approach that would make even Paul Heyman, the master of manipulation himself, quietly admire the strategy. Roman did not simply want to defeat CM Punk inside the ring. He wanted to weaken him physically, destroy him emotionally, and shatter his confidence at the peak of his momentum, so that no matter how hard Punk fought back, he would never truly be the same again. For CM Punk, this betrayal cuts deeper than any chair shot, any finisher, or any brutal assault ever could. This was not the move of an openly declared enemy. It was a treacherous act carried out by someone Punk believed